The continent of Africa splitting into two, and this change is associated with the East African Rift System. It's one of the largest rifts in the world.
Africa, a land of ancient secrets and untold mysteries. Beneath its vast landscapes and within its hidden corners, modern cameras have glimpsed moments that defy explanation and ignite wonder. These are the stories that unveil a side of Africa shrouded in mystery, where the extraordinary meets the unimaginable. Number 15. Africa's Great Divide. The continent slowly tears apart. Tectonic plates beneath southwestern Kenya are reshaping the landscape, creating a colossal chasm known as the Great Rift Valley. This gargantuan crack stretches for miles across the sun-scorched plains, exemplifying Earth's dynamic nature. Recent studies show this rift widening at a notable rate, with some sections expanding by nearly 2 inches annually. This gradual growth results from enormous subterranean forces as the Nubian and Somali plates drift apart. Geologists anticipate that over time, this persistent process could lead to a new ocean formation, significantly altering Africa's geography. This geological event has far-reaching consequences. Continued widening may increase seismic activity, potentially causing more frequent and intense earthquakes. The landscape will transform, forming new valleys, mountains, and possibly volcanoes. Ecologically, habitats will shift, compelling species to adapt to changing environments. However, the Great Rift Valley represents more than just change. It also signifies creation and renewal. As the continent divides, new land will surface, providing opportunities for life to thrive in unforeseen ways. The rift may create novel migration routes, allowing species to explore uncharted areas and establish new ecological relationships. Number 14. The enigmatic Kuu Spirals, a celestial mystery etched in the earth. Amidst the vast, sun-baked expanse of South Africa's Karoo Desert, a peculiar sight greets those who gaze upon the land from above. Etched into the arid soil are massive, swirling patterns, each one spanning hundreds of feet in diameter. These enigmatic formations, known as the Kuu Spirals, have captivated the imagination of artists and adventurers alike. Visible only from above, these colossal geoglyphs were not formed by some ancient civilization or extraterrestrial visitors, but rather by a group of contemporary artists who sought to create a lasting statement about the importance of environmental and social awareness. The spirals were painstakingly crafted using a variety of local materials, including stones, wood, and even discarded tires. Each one is a unique expression of the artist's vision, with intricate patterns and symbols woven into the overall design. Some spirals depict animals and plants native to the Karoo, while others incorporate geometric shapes and abstract forms that seem to defy explanation. By creating these massive, ephemeral sculptures in one of the most remote and inhospitable regions on Earth, the artists behind the spirals have challenged us to think more deeply about our impact on the planet and the consequences of our actions. Number 13. The Infernal Cauldron, Nyiragongo's seething lava lake. In the heart of Central Africa, Mount Nyiragongo looms like a sleeping beast, with some researchers warning it could one day become a modern-day Pompeii. This towering volcano in the Democratic Republic of Congo isn't just a mountain, it's a ticking time bomb. But Nyiragongo holds a secret, one that both terrifies and mesmerizes those who dare to look upon it. Deep within its smoldering crater lies the largest and most active lava lake on the planet. This vast cauldron of molten rock is a sight that defies description. A roiling, seething mass of incandescent orange and red casts an otherworldly glow over the surrounding crater walls. For those brave or foolhardy enough to peer over the edge, the view is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Here, at temperatures reaching up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, The very lifeblood of the Earth bubbles and churns in a constant state of furious motion. However, studying Nyiragongo is not for the faint of heart. The volcano is notoriously unpredictable, with a history of sudden and violent eruptions that have devastated nearby communities. In 1977, a massive eruption sent rivers of lava streaming down the mountain's flanks at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, engulfing entire villages and claiming hundreds of lives. The 2002 eruption was particularly catastrophic. On January 17th, fissures opened on the volcano's southern flank, sending lava flows into the city of Goma. The eruption destroyed about 15% of the city, leaving over 120,000 people homeless and causing widespread destruction and displacement. More recently, on May 22, 2021, Nyiragongo erupted again, causing significant damage and forcing the evacuation of tens of thousands of people. The eruption sent lava flows toward Goma, destroying homes and infrastructure in its path. The World Bank played a significant role in the monitoring of Mount Nyiragongo prior to the 2021 eruption. However, in 2021, the World Bank cut its funding for the Goma Volcano Observatory GVO amid allegations of embezzlement. This funding cut severely hampered the observatory's ability to monitor the volcano effectively. As a result, the GVO struggled with outdated equipment and a lack of resources, which contributed to the lack of early warning signals before the eruption. Number 12. The river horses of Africa. Hippos, the surprising killers. In Africa's rivers and lakes, danger comes in an unexpected form: the hippopotamus. These massive creatures can shatter a small tourist boat in seconds, revealing their true nature: fierce, aggressive giants with jaws strong enough to snap through anything that crosses their path. Despite their lumbering gait and somewhat comical appearance, hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, responsible for more human deaths each year than lions, leopards, and crocodiles combined. These river horses, as they are sometimes called, can weigh up to 3,000 pounds and grow to lengths of over 16 feet, making them one of the largest land mammals on the planet. But it is not just their size that makes hippos so formidable. They are also incredibly fast and agile, capable of reaching speeds of up to 20 miles per hour on land and even faster in the water. Their massive jaws can snap a crocodile in half with ease, and their thick, rubbery hide is virtually impervious to most predators. Perhaps most terrifying of all is the hippo's unpredictable nature. They are fiercely territorial and will not hesitate to attack anything that ventures too close to their watery domain. Boats, vehicles, and even buildings have fallen victim to the wrath of a charging hippo, their hulls crushed and their occupants left to fend for themselves in the churning water. One particularly harrowing incident occurred on a remote stretch of the Zambezi River, where a group of tourists in a small boat found themselves face to face with an enraged bull hippo. The creature charged the boat with incredible speed, its massive jaws chomping at the air as it bore down on the terrified passengers. The boat's engine roared to life, and the craft shot forward, narrowly escaping the hippo's crushing grasp. Number 11. The enigmatic monoliths, a global phenomenon, shrouded in mystery. Stanley Kubrick's 1968 film, 2001: A Space Odyssey, introduced the world to one of cinema's most enduring enigmas, the monolith. In Kubrick's masterpiece, these featureless slabs appear at pivotal moments in human evolution, silent harbingers of profound change. From the dawn of tool use among our primitive ancestors to humanity's first steps into deep space, these monoliths stand as inscrutable catalysts, pushing our species toward an unknowable cosmic destiny. In recent years, the concept of the monolith has taken an unexpected leap from fiction into reality, sparking a global phenomenon that blurs the lines between art, mystery, and cultural engagement. Beginning in 2020, metallic structures resembling Kubrick's monoliths began appearing in remote locations around the world, from the deserts of Utah to the hills of Romania. Each new discovery fueled further speculation and theories about their origins and purpose. Some viewed them as elaborate art installations, while others suggested marketing stunts, or even more fancifully, signs of extraterrestrial visitation. In 2021, reports emerged of a monolith discovery in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This vast country, with its dense rainforests and complex socio-political landscape, provided a backdrop of danger and intrigue that intensified the global fascination with the monolith phenomenon. Unlike its predecessors, the Congolese monolith sparked not just curiosity, but fear and conflict among local communities. In a region where traditional beliefs hold significant sway, the sudden appearance of an unexplained, alien-looking object led to a variety of intense reactions. Some saw it as a divine sign, others as a curse or evil omen. This lack of clear explanations allowed speculation and theories to flourish, both locally and internationally. As tensions mounted, a group of young men reportedly took drastic action, toppling the monolith and setting it ablaze in an attempt to banish what they perceived as a malevolent presence. Number 10. The Hyena Whisperers, an unbreakable bond between human and beast. In the shadow of Ethiopia's ancient city of Harar, a group of men and women have forged an extraordinary relationship with one of Africa's most fearsome predators. Known as the Hyena Whisperers, these intrepid individuals have earned the trust and respect of the city's thriving hyena population, entering into a symbiotic bond that defies conventional wisdom and challenges our understanding of the boundaries between humans and wild animals. For centuries, the people of Harar have lived side by side with spotted hyenas, powerful carnivores that can weigh up to 190 pounds and are known for their bone-crushing jaws and ferocious hunting abilities. While most people would go to great lengths to avoid these formidable beasts, the Hyena Whisperers of Harar have taken a different approach, actively seeking out and interacting with the hyenas on a nightly basis. The practice begins at dusk, when the hyenas emerge from their dens in the hills surrounding the city. The Whisperers make their way to designated feeding sites, carrying with them buckets of raw meat and bones. As the hyenas approach, the Whisperers call out to them by name, using a series of grunts and growls that mimic the animal's own vocalizations. Remarkably, the hyenas seem to recognize and respond to these calls, approaching the Whisperers with a mix of caution and curiosity. What happens next is a display of trust and cooperation that is rarely seen in the animal kingdom. The Whisperers hand-feed the hyenas, offering them chunks of meat and bone from their bare hands. The hyenas, in turn, gently take the proffered food, their powerful jaws mere inches from the Whisperers' fingers. Number 9. The Jungle Palace of Mobutu, Sese Seko, a monument to excess and ruin. Swallowed by the Congolese jungle, a palace rots. Its moldering walls and feral gardens mock the extravagance of its creator, Mobutu Sese Seko. For over 30 years, this autocrat gripped Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo, in an iron fist, until a 1997 coup shattered his reign. Today, vines strangle marble columns and roots crack golden fixtures, nature's slow revenge against the excesses of a fallen dictator. This crumbling folly, once a symbol of unchecked power, now stands as an unintended monument to impermanence in the heart of Africa. At the height of his power, Mobutu was one of the richest and most influential men in Africa, with a personal fortune estimated at over $5 billion. He was known for his extravagant lifestyle and his penchant for lavish displays of wealth, and his jungle palace was the ultimate symbol of his opulence and excess. Located in the remote village of Gabadalite, Over 700 miles from the capital city of Kinshasa, the palace was a sprawling complex of buildings and gardens that covered over 4,500 acres of jungle terrain. The centerpiece of the complex was a massive three-story mansion that featured a grand staircase, ornate chandeliers, and a rooftop swimming pool. The walls were adorned with priceless works of art, and the floors were lined with plush carpets and exotic animal skins. During his reign, Mobutu siphoned billions of dollars from the Congolese economy, using the money to fund his lavish lifestyle and to buy the loyalty of his cronies and allies. As Mobutu's power began to wane in the 1990s, the palace fell into disrepair and was eventually abandoned. Number 8. The Enigma of Gy, a lost city of Swahili glory. Along the sun-drenched coast of Kenya, nestled amidst the lush forests and pristine beaches of the Indian Ocean, lie the enigmatic ruins of Gy, a once thriving city that mysteriously vanished centuries ago. The crumbling walls and overgrown streets of this ancient metropolis offer a tantalizing glimpse into the rich history and culture of the Swahili people, whose influence once stretched across the length of East Africa. Founded in the 12th century, Gy quickly rose to prominence as a major center of trade and commerce, attracting merchants and travelers from as far away as China and India. The city was renowned for its exquisite architecture, intricate carvings, and sophisticated urban planning, with a complex network of streets and houses that rivaled those of many European cities at the time. At its height, Gy was home to over 2,500 people, with a thriving economy based on trade in gold, ivory, and spices. The city's wealth and power were reflected in its grand palaces, mosques, and public buildings, many of which were adorned with intricate carvings and decorative tilework. But despite its prosperity and grandeur, Gy was abruptly abandoned in the early 17th century, its inhabitants leaving behind a city that was still in remarkably good condition. The reasons for this sudden desertion have long been a source of mystery and speculation among historians and archaeologists. Some have suggested that the city fell victim to a sudden outbreak of disease or a devastating natural disaster, while others have pointed to political upheaval or economic collapse as possible causes. One of the most intriguing aspects of Gy's abandonment is the fact that the city's treasure vaults were left untouched, with priceless artifacts and gold still hidden within their walls. This has led some to speculate that the city's inhabitants may have left in a hurry, possibly fleeing from an impending threat or danger. Number 7. The Lost Pyramids of Sudan, rediscovering the grandeur of ancient Nubia. In the scorching sands of Sudan, far from the teeming crowds of Cairo and the bustling streets of Khartoum, a collection of ancient pyramids rises from the desert floor, their smooth stone surfaces glinting in the harsh African sun. These are the pyramids of Meroe, the last capital of the Kingdom of Kush, a powerful civilization that once rivaled the glory and grandeur of ancient Egypt. For centuries, the Nubian pyramids have stood as silent sentinels over the vast expanse of the Sudanese desert, their origins and purpose largely forgotten by the outside world. While the pyramids of Egypt have long captured the imagination of people around the globe, their Nubian counterparts have remained largely overlooked, hidden away in a remote corner of the African continent. But in recent years, a growing number of archaeologists and historians have begun to turn their attention to the pyramids of Meroe, seeking to unravel the secrets of this ancient civilization and shed new light on its remarkable achievements. What they have discovered is a complex and sophisticated society that thrived for over 1,000 years, leaving behind a legacy of art, architecture, and innovation that continues to astound and inspire. The Nubian pyramids are smaller and steeper than their Egyptian counterparts, with some standing over 100 feet tall. They were built as tombs for the kings and queens of Kush, who were believed to become gods in the afterlife. The pyramids were constructed using stone blocks that were cut and transported from quarries located miles away, a feat of engineering and logistics that required tremendous skill and organization. Despite their historical and cultural significance, the Nubian pyramids have long been under threat from a variety of forces, including looters, vandals, and the ravages of time. In recent years, however, the Sudanese government and international organizations have begun to take steps to protect and preserve these priceless monuments, recognizing their value as a vital part of the world's cultural heritage. Number 6. The Eye of the Sahara, a geological enigma etched in the desert sands. In the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, an otherworldly formation stares back at us from the sands of Mauritania. Known as the Richat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara, this colossal circular feature, spanning nearly 25 miles in diameter, has captivated the imagination of scientists and adventurers alike. Its concentric rings of rock, alternating between shades of blue and gold, create a mesmerizing bullseye visible even from space, inviting us to unravel the secrets of its creation. For decades, the Richat structure remained shrouded in mystery, with early theories suggesting it might be the result of a meteorite impact or an ancient volcanic eruption. However, as satellite imagery and geological studies have revealed, the Eye of the Sahara showcases the complex forces that have shaped our planet over millions of years. Rather than a sudden cataclysmic event, it is now believed to be a deeply eroded geologic dome, formed by the gentle uplifting of rock layers and the relentless power of wind and water. The Eye's distinctive appearance is attributed to the differential erosion of the varying rock types that make up its structure. The more resistant quartzite layers form the prominent ridges, while the softer sedimentary rocks have been worn away, creating the striking pattern of concentric rings. This intricate interplay of geology and erosion has not only produced a visually stunning landmark, but also offers a unique window into the Earth's past. The rock layers that form the Eye date back to the late Proterozoic and early Cambrian periods, providing valuable insights into the conditions that prevailed on Earth some 600 million years ago. Number 5. Soaring on Sand. The Thrill of Desert. Kayaking in Namibia. Amidst the towering dunes of the Namib Desert, a new breed of adventurers is carving their path through the sands. Armed with specially designed kayaks and an insatiable thirst for adrenaline, these intrepid explorers have pioneered the thrilling sport of desert kayaking. In a land where water is scarce and the terrain is unforgiving, they have found a way to ride the waves of sand, turning the barren landscape into their ultimate playground. The origins of desert kayaking can be traced back to the early 2000s, when a group of extreme sports enthusiasts began experimenting with the idea of sliding down the steep faces of Namibia's dunes. What started as a quirky pastime quickly evolved into a full-fledged sport, attracting daredevils from around the globe, eager to test their skills against the desert's ever-shifting terrain. The keystone to desert kayaking's success lies in the unique design of the kayaks themselves. Unlike their water-bound counterparts, these sleek vessels are built to withstand the abrasive sand and the high speeds achieved during the descent. With their waxed undersides and specially adapted rudders, desert kayaks allow riders to glide effortlessly down the dunes, reaching speeds of up to 40 miles per hour as they navigate the undulating sea of sand. Number 4. The Sentinels of Mount Kilimanjaro. Giant groundsels in the sky. In the misty heights of Mount Kilimanjaro, a strange and wondrous sight awaits those who brave the ascent. Towering above the rocky slopes, the giant groundsels stand like ancient sentinels, their thick, gnarled stems and spiky rosettes of leaves creating an alien landscape that seems to belong to another world. These bizarre plants, found nowhere else on Earth, have adapted to thrive in one of the most challenging environments imaginable, defying the odds and capturing the imagination of all who encounter them. At first glance, the giant groundsels of Kilimanjaro appear more like something from a science fiction movie than a product of natural evolution. Growing up to 20 feet tall, these prehistoric-looking plants exemplify the resilience and adaptability of life in the face of extreme conditions. Their thick, woody stems are covered in a dense layer of dead leaves, providing insulation against the biting cold and intense solar radiation found at high altitudes. But it is the giant groundsel's strange and otherworldly appearance that truly sets them apart. Their tall, columnar stems are topped with a crown of thick, succulent leaves, arranged in a rosette pattern that can span up to 3 feet in diameter. These leaves are covered in a waxy coating that helps to retain moisture in the dry, thin air, while also reflecting the harsh sunlight that bathes the mountain's upper slopes. The secret to the giant groundsel's success lies in their unique adaptations to the extreme climate of Mount Kilimanjaro. The mountain's upper reaches, known as the Alpine Zone, are characterized by frigid temperatures, intense solar radiation, and scarce water and nutrients. To survive in this unforgiving environment, the groundsels have evolved a range of specialized features, from their thick, insulating stems to their water-storing leaves. Perhaps most impressive is the giant groundsel's ability to create their own microclimate. By trapping moisture and nutrients within their rosettes of leaves, these plants create a tiny oasis of life in an otherwise barren landscape. This miniature ecosystem provides a refuge for a variety of other alpine species, from tiny insects to delicate flowering plants, all of which depend on the groundsels for their survival. Number 3. The African Renaissance Monument. Rising from a hilltop overlooking the sprawling city of Dakar, the African Renaissance Monument stands as a colossal symbol of pride, progress, and paradox. At 160 feet tall, this bronze behemoth is the tallest statue in Africa, depicting a muscular man, a curvaceous woman, and a small child, all pointing resolutely toward a brighter future. But while its creators envisioned the monument as a celebration of African identity and potential, its construction and reception have been mired in controversy, sparking heated debates about art, politics, and the true meaning of the Renaissance. From the moment the statue was unveiled in 2010, it has been a lightning rod for criticism and contention. Many Senegalese citizens have argued that the $27 million spent on the monument could have been better used to address pressing social and economic issues, such as poverty, healthcare, and education. Others have criticized the statue's design, arguing that its socialist realist style and North Korean construction are at odds with African artistic traditions and values. But perhaps the most provocative aspect of the African Renaissance Monument is its subject matter. The statue's depiction of a muscular, bare-chested man and a scantily clad woman has been seen by some as a perpetuation of gender stereotypes and a glorification of masculine power. Critics have also pointed out the irony of celebrating the African Renaissance with a monument that was designed by a Romanian architect and built by a North Korean company, raising questions about the true extent of African involvement and ownership. Number 2. When baboons attack. The perils of life among primates. In the bustling cities and sprawling suburbs of South Africa, humans and wildlife often find themselves in close quarters, their lives intertwined in a delicate dance of coexistence. But sometimes, this fragile balance is upset by the most unlikely of culprits, the baboon, a primate with a penchant for mischief and a surprising capacity for mayhem. Baboons are a common sight in many parts of South Africa, their troops foraging for food in the wild and occasionally venturing into human settlements in search of an easy meal. But while these intelligent and social creatures may seem harmless enough, they can quickly turn from curious onlookers to destructive invaders, leaving a trail of chaos in their wake. One such incident occurred in the suburbs of Cape Town, where a troop of baboons broke into a home and proceeded to ransack the kitchen, upending containers, smashing dishes, and generally creating a scene of utter devastation. The homeowners, who were away at the time, returned to find their once tidy dwelling in shambles, with food strewn across the floor and furniture overturned. But the damage caused by baboons goes beyond mere property destruction. These powerful primates can also pose a serious threat to human safety, particularly when they feel threatened or cornered. Male baboons, which can weigh up to 90 pounds and possess razor-sharp canines, have been known to attack humans without provocation, leaving their victims with deep lacerations and even broken bones. In some cases, baboon attacks can be fatal, particularly for young children or the elderly. In 2018, a 3-year-old boy was killed by a baboon in a village in Zimbabwe, sparking outrage and calls for greater measures to control the primate population. Number 1. The Great Mosque of J, a mud brick marvel of the Sahel. Mali's floodplains cradle an architectural wonder, the Great Mosque of J. This colossal structure, Earth's largest mud brick edifice, emerges from the Bani River's banks like a surreal vision. Its fluid contours and intricate designs challenge the limitations of its humble material. For over a millennium, this marvel has showcased the Islamic community's craftsmanship and devotion, bridging past and present. Its enduring presence continues to captivate, offering a glimpse into a rich cultural legacy that resonates through time. Built in the 13th century, the Great Mosque of J is a masterpiece of Sudano-Sahelian architecture, a style characterized by the use of mud bricks, wooden beams, and organic forms. The mosque's walls are adorned with bundles of rhodiola palm sticks, which serve both a decorative and functional purpose, projecting out from the surface to create a ladder-like pattern that allows for easy maintenance and repair of the mud brick facade. But the beauty of the Great Mosque lies not just in its aesthetic appeal, but in the way it embodies the values and traditions of the community that created it. The mosque is not only a place of worship, but also a center of learning and social interaction, where people come to pray, study, and gather together. Its construction and upkeep are a communal effort, with local masons and volunteers coming together each year to repair and maintain the mud brick walls, a ritual that reinforces social bonds and cultural identity. Despite the challenges posed by the elements and the passage of time, the Great Mosque of J has endured, a living monument to the faith and creativity of the people who built it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.